Chapter 94. Chongmyung looked around as he climbed up the mountain. She isn't here, right? Chongmyung, who was quite nervous that Yu Yisol would catch up with him, sighed deeply. What am I doing? Chongmyung had nothing in this world he feared. In the past, when he was the Plum Blossom Sword Saint, there were people afraid of him, but he was never afraid of others. Wasn't the sect leader of the Shaolin sect even reluctant to meet him? But now, that same Chongmyung was in a situation where he avoided a little girl. What am I being made to deal with? It would be so much simpler if he could just hit her on the head, wrap her up with a rope, and toss her off a cliff somewhere. But since she's just an innocent nuisance, he can't beat her up, right? Huh? What about Baekchun? That bastard came at me first. There's a difference between a senior who picks a fight and a senior that's a nuisance. Well, for the first time in his life, no, for the first time ever, Chongmyung was avoiding others. What's become of me? Why do I need to avoid people this early in the morning? Chongmyung, who stopped to take a deep breath, was ready to run up again. Oh? He felt something. Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. It's useless to try fooling an old ghost like me. You can't deceive... Huh? Chongmyung tilted his head. This key he was feeling was different from Yu Yisol's. Yu Yisol boasts a weird sense of non-existence. It was something that Chongmyung would have to heavily concentrate on feeling. So Chongmyung would listen for her footsteps instead. However, what he was feeling now was too strong and clear to be Yu Yisol. And... 2 people? Not just one. Chongmyung's eyes narrowed, and he moved cautiously as he sensed the key. For 2 people to be meeting in this deep mountain so early in the morning, it felt like a conspiracy. I need to see what they're up to. Chongmyung's eyes began to sparkle. Swoosh. His feet began to swiftly cut through the wind and accelerate. Chongmyung quickly halted and melded into his surroundings as he approached the area that he felt the key coming from. And then, he carefully snuck forward and stuck his head out to have a peek. Huh? Chongmyung blinked his eyes. No matter how much he tried to double-check if his senses were right, the sight in front of him didn't change. One of the 2 figures was someone Chongmyung knew. Baekchun. It wasn't strange for Baekchun to be here. After all, this was still Mount Hua's territory. But the other person standing there was unexpected. He wasn't from Mount Hua, and the situation seemed strange. Why is he here? Jin Gomryung. Jin Gomryung, one of the Jungnam's greatest disciples, stood opposite Baekchun with an odd expression. Why are the 2 of them meeting here? It was definitely a conspiracy. Chongmyung cautiously moved closer to listen in. You seem to be doing well. Jin Gomryung smiled brightly and spoke to Baekchun, but Baekchun's face clearly expressed his displeasure. You seem to be at ease. Isn't there a reason for that, Dongryung? Pfft. Jin Gomryung and Baekchun both turned their gazes toward the sudden sound. Ah, shit! Chongmyung desperately held his breath and concealed himself. It was almost unbearable for Chongmyung to restrain his laughter when he heard the word Dongryung, bronze dragon. The 2 looked at each other again. They probably thought it was just a passing beast. Baekchun's face contorted. Don't call me by that name. I am Baekchun. Don't think of throwing away the name your parents gave you. No matter what anyone says, you are Jin Dongryung. Please, just stop already. Chongmyung clutched the floor and tried not to laugh. Oh shit, I might die. Dongryung. Baekchun's real name is Dongryung? My stomach might rip at this rate. Chongmyung's body trembled and was cramped up as he fought to hold back his laughter. Baekchun's face quickly turned red as if it would burst. It's Baekchun. Fine, Dongryung. Wow, he is really losing it. Baekchun hated it so much that his face was burning red. But the other guy just kept calling him Dongryung. He has such a bad personality. Whether or not he knew about Chongmyung's internal evaluation of him, Jin Gomryung continued to speak with a smile. Isn't Mount Hua a great place to live? You look pretty good too, don't you think? What are you trying to say? I just wanted to see you. A smile drew on Jin Gum-ryung's lips. To see what kind of an ugly life that little brother of mine who ran away from home to beat his older brother was living in Mount Hua. You saw that 2 years ago, didn't you? I never get tired of kicking a defeated dog. Not even 100 times would be enough. Baekchun's face crumpled. This was Jin Gum-ryung's true character. He was merciless to those he considered weaker than himself. He usually disguises himself with a kind face, but he was rotten inside. How long had Baekchun been bullied by him? What do you say? If you get on your knees and beg, I can accept you into the Jongnam sect. Stop spouting shit. Baekchun looked straight at Jin Gum-ryung. I am Baekchun, the great Sahyung of Mount Hwa's second-class disciples. My dream is to make Mount Hwa into a well-known sect that stands above the Jongnam sect. So don't say such words in front of me again. Oh? Chongmyung looked at the two in front of him with shining eyes. Let's see. So these two are brothers. One, Gum-ryung, Golden Dragon, and the other is Dong-ryung, Bronze Dragon. I really want to meet their father, at least once. He needed to meet the enemy that causes Belly such pain. What on earth did he think when he named his children like that? That's why Baekchun ran away. Baekchun spoke with a growl. Since I know you're just speaking hollow words, I'll ignore that remark. After all, I know that even if I begged, you would simply mock me and act like it never happened. That's just the kind of person you are. Being brothers is strange. You know me so well, despite being apart for so long. Jin Gum-ryung, who had been smiling until then, suddenly changed his expression and turned cold. You made the wrong choice. If you wanted to defeat me, you should have entered the Jongnam sect. Maybe then you might have had a chance. But you chose Mount Hwa instead of the Jongnam sect? You fled into a crippled sect to defeat me? Even a dog would find this funny. Baekchun bit his lip. Do not look down on Mount Hwa. Oh? Yes, you're right. The reason I joined Mount Hwa was that you despised it. I will lead Mount Hwa and defeat the older brother who ignored and looked down on me. Such a foolish idea. So stupid that it makes me feel dumb for listening. It's exactly like you. Ignoring the constant flood of spiteful words, Baekchun firmly said, In the beginning, I certainly was childish. But now, I really like Mount Hwa. Living my life as Baekchun, great Sahyung of Mount Hwa's second-class disciples, is the most rewarding experience for me. Oh? Chongmyung looked at Baekchun with a subtle sense of pride emanating from his eyes. So that's his story. He did say that he needed to grow stronger, so there must have been a reason behind it, right? Chongmyung felt a bit moved by Baekchun's words. This is so... You think it's rewarding to live as a disciple of a crumbling sect in this ruined mountain? Has your mind gone astray? That son of a bitch! Hearing what this bastard had to say, Chongmyung grew furious. I just need to punish him once. Yes, Baekchun answered firmly. It might seem strange, but I understood once I stayed here. I'm not the sort of person who is happy living comfortably in a rich sect with nice food, clothes, and education. At the very least, this place needs me here. I can set a goal and help develop the sect. Mount Hwa is a sect that has given me a goal to strive for. Furthermore, it is a home which embraced me affectionately. Affection? Jin Gum-ryung frowned. Such weakness. When I see you talking like that, I understand that you've lost your sense of reality. Let me tell you, you're already finished. As a result of your pathetic choice, you will live the rest of your life in humiliation, forever left behind as a third-rate martial artist, nothing more than a servant. Meanwhile, you will watch me rise as the future sect leader of the Jongnam sect from your withered hovel. Well, I don't really care. I am going to live my life regardless. You're going to live your life like trash. Well, at least it will be fun for me to watch, Jin Gum-ryung said with a sly smile. But I'm not one to watch on the side for long. Rather than waste time waiting, I will show you tomorrow. You will see just how stupid it was for you to choose Mount Hwa instead of the Jongnam sect. Jin Gum-ryung tilted his head as if contemplating something before a wretched sneer covered his face. No, maybe this was a good choice. After all, there's no better combination for a ruined sect than an idiot disciple. I don't mind you insulting me, but your foul mouth has no right to speak of Mount Hua. Watch yourself, or I'll tear that mouth of yours off. Someone like you? Jin Gum-ryung glared at Baek-chun as he trembled in anger. After staring for a while, Jin Gum-ryung suddenly smiled. There's no need to rush. The time will come when you realize it. Neither you nor Mount Hua will be able to make their marks on the world after tomorrow. I'll make certain of that. Jin Gum-ryung glanced once more at Baek-chun before descending the mountain. Baek-chun sighed deeply as he stared at Jin Gum-ryung's slowly fading figure. Can I do it? Jin Gum-ryung is a strong man that always achieves his goals. Aside from his poor attitude, he was still more talented and greater than Baek-chun. Baek-chun bit his lip. I shouldn't let myself be shaken. He is Baek-chun of Mount Hua. One day, he would become the sect leader of Mount Hua and lead everyone into glory. Baek-chun, who was mumbling to himself, finally steeled his determination and turned around. Wow, look at this admirable kid. Ah, fuck, you scared me. Baek-chun was so terrified at the sudden words that he fell backward on the floor. He was so shocked that he thought his heart would burst through his throat. When he finally settled down, he saw Chongmyung nodding his head with a pleased expression. Why are you here? Dongryung, Dongryung. Baek-chun's expression crumbled when he heard Chongmyung's words, while the culprit himself struggled to hold back his repressive laughter. You heard everything. Oh my, Dongryung, I was amazed by your wonderful heart, which holds such pride for Mount Hua. Chongmyung nodded, while Baek-chun sighed. Are you a ghost? I couldn't even feel your presence. Well, that is to be expected. I haven't done anything wrong, but don't tell anyone about this. Others might not think of this as a good thing. Don't worry, Sasuk. This is Chongmyung. I'm the man with the heaviest mouth in the world. Doesn't that mean that his mouth can't hold anything? Baek-chun wrapped his head around the idea of being caught. No one except the sect leader and a few elders knew about this, but of all the people to find out. So Sasuk is Jin Gum-ryung's younger brother. Even though we're brothers, we don't have a friendly relationship. Our mothers are different. Baek-chun sighed and tried to talk. Since I was little. Don't bother. Huh? I don't have time to listen to such trivial drama. It's obvious. Whether he's older or younger, you were defeated by your talented sibling and didn't get treated well, so you ran away from home and came to Mount Hua. Don't just summarize other people's lives. But it was right. You did well. Right. So, what? Baek-chun tilted his head. I said that you did well, coming to Mount Hua. Chongmyung had a different expression from before. It wasn't the mischievous smile that scratched a person's nerves to anger them. Rather, it was simply a gentle smile. Then, Chongmyung spoke with a heavy voice. No matter your origins or what your story is, Sasuk is a disciple of Mount Hua. You weren't wrong to abandon the Jongnam sect and choose Mount Hua. We will prove it. Baek-chun couldn't say anything. This didn't seem like a speech that should come from such a young child. Strangely, though, when Baek-chun listened to Chongmyung's words, he felt his heart at ease. We'll prove it. When? When? Chongmyung chuckled. Today. And then he turned away. Soon, the sun would rise and the conference would begin. Let's run wild, Sasuk. He couldn't hear the other part, but now is the time to crush those bastards.